Fox 31 Denver, News at 9.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Posey. Tonight, a person of interest is in custody after a bank robbery in Aurora this afternoon. That person is believed to be one of several dozen drivers who were caught in a police dragnet shortly after the holdup. The robbery took place at a Wells Fargo bank at Hampden and Chambers, while the drivers were searched at Buckley and Iliff, about 2.5 miles away. That's where Fox 31 Denver's Hendrik Brandy is live now with the very latest. Hendrik?
Kim, things are finally back to normal here along Iliff Avenue. This is where all the activity was a little bit earlier. This section of street was closed for several hours as police cuffed and detained several dozen people on the possibility that one of them was the bank robbery suspect. It was an unusual sight, to say the least. 1 minute, people were in their cars headed who knows where on this Saturday afternoon. The next minute, their hands were up in the air. They were being handcuffed. Some had guns pointed at them. Police were reacting to a bank robbery that had just happened several miles away. They had information that a male suspect was near this intersection. Officers felt their only recourse was to check everyone, or at least all of the adults in the area. Children, clearly disturbed by what was going on, sat off to the side. Sonia Romero, who was in one of the cars that was stopped, recounts what happened.
I was picking my car up from getting some brakes done right here, then I was making a right and they swarmed us. So we've been in our car about 2 hours and 20 minutes just trying to wait for them to figure out what was going on. Cops came from every direction and just literally threw their cars in front of my car. They pinned them off there and they pinned them off in the parking lot. They pinned off here. So I mean, literally nobody could go anywhere and we had to throw our hands in the air. They had guns drawn. There was cops everywhere. I mean, we didn't know what the heck was going on. We didn't know if we were in the line of fire or what the hell was happening. So arms are tired and we're exhausted. That was a little draining, yes. Yeah, it was quite the ordeal. I'm just glad they got him and that's that.
And a person of interest, as we said, is being questioned in connection with the robbery. Meantime, several dozen innocent people are trying to catch their breath tonight. It may not be easy. This was not the Saturday they had planned on. Live in Aurora, Hendrik Brandy, Fox 31 Denver.
Looks like quite an ordeal out there. Thanks, Hendrik.
It was.
Well, we have had a
A mother of 2 young children says she is disgusted with the way police handled the search for a bank robber over the weekend. She was one of several dozen drivers pulled from their cars at gunpoint. Fox 31 Denver's Deborah Takahara joins us live at the intersection of Iliff and Buckley with new developments on the story. Deb?
Ron, this intersection was described as chaotic and terrifying Saturday as cops swarmed in trying to find that bank robber. They stopped 19 cars and held everyone in all of those cars, some for more than 2 hours, some of them sitting on the sidewalk here in handcuffs. In the end, police did find the gunman along with 2 guns, but some of these drivers say the end does not justify the means. Instead of this being a story about Aurora police arresting this bank robber just moments after he held up the Wells Fargo bank, it's become a story about how police found and arrested him.
They said, "You need to get out of your car, ma'am," and I did, and I screamed I had kids, and they didn't put their guns down. They had shields up, and the guns were pointed right at us. It was terrifying.
Marcy Strandberg was one of 40 people detained Saturday afternoon at the intersection of Iliff and Buckley as officers for the robbery.
We're just absolutely terrified from I mean, it was just a nightmare. We didn't know if we were going to be shot at. We didn't know for almost 2 hours what was happening.
Aurora Police Chief Dan Oates came out saying he does not believe anyone's constitutional rights were violated.
The law is clear that investigative detentions are for a reasonable period of time. Reasonableness is determined by the facts and circumstances at issue. Circumstances where suspect was in one of 19 cars.
Chief Oates, who were detained, but says he stands behind the way his officers handled the incident.
No question we inconvenience citizens. We feel that. I apologize to them. I apologize again today. But we made a tough choice here, and we arrested a very dangerous armed bank robber.
I don't think that's, to be honest with you.
Marcy Strandberg says she's glad they caught the bank robber, but she doesn't think the incident was handled properly.
I feel that it was inappropriate. It was disgusting, to be honest with you. Having guns pointed at my children. You know, how am I to tell my son that they're there to protect you? He's terrified of them now.
Aurora police say they have received 5 complaints about Saturday's incident, but none of them came from anyone who was the woman you just met in our. She is still trying to decide if she will file a formal complaint. Reporting live from Aurora, Deborah Takahara, Fox 31 Denver.
So, Deb, the chief basically is saying, hey, it was an isolated incident and we ended up getting somebody who was a very danger to society.
And he does not believe that anyone's constitutional or civil rights were violated in any of this.
Okay, Deb, thanks very much. Denver's controversial camping ban is now